Unsurprisingly, we do learn a good deal from the script that the palace so generously provided as explanation for their virological warfare. One of the things that we've learned is that the police state, it's understood, doesn't necessarily involve military requirement. Instead, what it says is either you learn to fight for us or we'll make you into sexual slaves. So when they created a Truman Show, the persona being subjected to successive degradations of the X motive, which was as easy as one, two, three for people who work in the pornography system. I mean, I have a sister who had a lot of boyfriends, and she wasn't a porn star. So it's possible to get involved with a girl who doesn't think of herself as a porn star and go through the dating game and then break up, and it's an honest temporary romance. Well, as long as you're willing to do that, they will film you in secret and make a brothel of your privacy in the event that you should turn out to be a good painter, for example. And then they can start blackmailing you, murdering your niece, doing the various things that they do openly under the government of Joe Biden. Target your heroes and so on, and blame you for other things that happen. Well, we'll correlate that because, that person is in your um, bracket of people to avoid. So it's your fault. And this is a sort of shenanigan that goes on in the cult of intelligence that they call the Union or something. So it's blood curdling and it's bloodthirsty, but they make a Truman Show of somebody's um, being hoodwinked. The blue cloak of the deceived husband is a painting that's medieval by women. Women are always honest. Women are always, and then they disprove his honesty to justify the AIDS attack. Okay, so they line up all of the BS. And one of the things that they did was that they made sure that I didn't have the freedom not to be a sexual slave. They tortured me, they battered me, they used me as a child when I was in coma, which they denied. They hushed that up. They waited until they had me ready to be married. And then they locked me out of church. Why would we let the queer ball get married? So and then the gays burst in. The gay ill burst in and say, aha, we captured the films of the queer bait and we want to sell them to raise money for our medicine. And this was all planned. It was all gerrymandered. It was all plebiscite. It was all um, set up so that they could then release COVID and say, we're going to watch you through things like that, you know, in your home computer. And if you look at porno, we'll say, you see, you owe them. That's the collection rent. And then the parochial savage dreamed all this up to fundamentally contradict the right of public schools, the Commonwealth to be protected. Freedom of association was out of the question. You have to serve their martial guard. It's that simple. Did you do your duty to the masters? Then you get protection. And this sort of criminal insanity underwrites the whole spiel of COVID 19, which is encryptions for Cohen's video of the 19-year-old virgin girl and the successive degradations of the X motive that were subsumed into the degradation apparatus of the war game about AIDS, which they called an experience park. He said, I'll pour it on you steaming. I hope it's enough. This was Don Denise, who was speaking for Paul McCartney. In other words, we'll torture you and torture you and torture you and hope that that placates, the black man who's burning with a spear of vengeance from Hitler's Germany, and Goebbels, who rides to the rescue of the black man. I've explained this in other videos. It's the horrible indecency of the Hollywood superstate, celebrity superstate, the penis Gabriel, has been riding to power through these attacks on our grannies. I mean, my grandmother would never tell anybody who she voted for. Do you think these people are going to stop at demanding to know who you voted for, who you slept with, and things like that? And they said, oh, he's a dictator because he didn't like it when they used the blue cloak of the deceived husbands on. It's all conscientiously inhumane, targeted and impacted neuroplasm. And, oh, he's in the weeping and wailing stage, as they say. I was suffocating from an impacted neuroplasm. He's in the weeping and wailing stage, as they would say. I mean, the cock and bull story of the museum thieves that sucked trillions of dollars out of our economy for brutal purposes, and who raped a retarded girl and said that's not enough. Enough, but not enough was what the psychotics in the state of Washington came up with as a slogan. In other words, we're going to continue to licky chops at you with our hate craft, and we're going to justify it no matter what you do, because no matter what you say, we don't care. We're psychotic, we're sinister, we're thieves, we're rapists, we poison criminals, and we're going to get you. It's the whole message that comes out of Jay Inslee and Microsoft. That's the bottom line about all of the stuff that comes out of Pitt and Carnegie Mellon University. They are bullshit.